right, so obviously the Batman trailer dropped. DC fandom, what you were saying, that's what it's called?
Yes.
So I did my own video on it this morning with my thoughts of it, but I thought I'd do a follow-up because obviously you've got your fan base on this channel, and so they might appreciate your intake on this.
Well, I bring important things to this channel, mainly calling you a bastard.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's a highlight. Yeah, that's one of the main things. So yeah, pretty good trailer anyway. I thought, obviously, as far as these things go, we've seen good trailers for bad films before, but obviously the mystery at this point is what's the film going to be like.
I mean, that was going to be the point that I make. It's like, yeah, this is a good trailer, but then again, so was Batman v Superman, so was Suicide Squad. Like, if you can't make a good trailer, like, there's something seriously wrong. I mean, the fact that Ghostbusters, like the remake, managed to have such a shit trailer was like, fucking hell, you can't even make your film look good in a trailer. Like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
So, in some ways, yeah, this trailer looks good. Like, I'm interested, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily like hugely like, oh, yep, great, the trailer's good, like everything's gonna be fine. It's like, could still be shit.
One thing that I'm always a bit cautious of is using music. Like Suicide Squad did it at Bohemian Rhapsody, which is like a massively loved song. Seemed to me like they were tagging something on there that they knew would sell to something that's shit and therefore decent by association. This Batman trailer has Nirvana's "Something in the Way," which is another like very well liked song. I don't think that's the same though. I think that's more. That song really does kind of fit in with the aesthetic of the film, you know, that sort of grungy feel to the film that they've got. Mentioned that in the last video.
Yeah, I was going to say it did seem to fit the theme they were going for in the trailer. So, like you say, it didn't feel like, oh, we've just done this especially to like appeal to, oh, we're not trying to be not Suicide Squad. We're not trying to be Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. It felt more like a actual design choice of like, this fits the tone of the trailer and this fits like what we're showing you in the trailer. So
yeah, we're not just saying, well, what's the song that everyone likes, and we'll just slap that on, and it won't really have any kind of context to it.
Yeah,
because it kind of did that. It kind of reminded me a little bit. There was another Nirvana song. It was I think it was "Come As You Are." It was in the trailer for the Netflix show, The Defenders. Was it Defenders? Yeah. That was another one. I suppose there was some relevance there. But anyway, like being more specific, obviously it's got like quite a lot of the Rogues Gallery in this film from the looks of it. Did you notice the Penguin in it?
No, I mean the main ones seem to be the Riddler. I kind of got that, and it seems to be taking a much more serious like approach to the Riddler than like the Jim Carrey kind of riddle me this, Batman, kind of like nonsense.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. I think I saw what looked to be Catwoman.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
No, I did not see the Penguin. No.
Yeah, well, it's not the Penguin in a traditional sense. It's Oswald Cobblepot, played by Colin Farrell. You knew who Colin Farrell is. He was in like Fright Night and think of a film you specifically know him from. But he's got a lot of facial, all Topher jokes aside, prosthetics on to the point where it's pretty much unrecognisable. I did mention it in the previous video. I kind of showed it there, so if you check that out, you can sort of see what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's like unrecognisable practically as him. So that'd be interesting to see. I keep forgetting who's in this film, but it's got quite a good cast. You know who's playing Commissioner Gordon? Obviously, you saw him in the trailer. You might have recognised him, but you might not know where you recognised him from.
Yeah, I didn't. So go ahead.
But it was Jeffrey Wright. I've just got IMDb up here, but Jeffrey Wright. He was in Casino Royale. It was Felix Leiter. That's what you'd know him from. But he's been in loads of stuff. But yeah,
now.
Yeah, like I say, you'll know him from stuff, not necessarily by his name. And what else? There's obviously Andy Serkis. You know who he is. Obviously, he's playing Alfred. You know, Pennyworth. So that'd be interesting. I can't remember seeing him in the trailer. There's that much stuff to digest. It's probably in there, but I can't remember seeing him. But yeah, the film is out in September next year if everything goes to plan. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, there was some issues with filming this, with everything that's been going on for the last few months. And from what I understand, Robert Pattinson, it stopped training or something. It came out like he made some comments about it. So my only thought there is continuity. I mean, if the bits that they did film is in good shape, in contrast to bits that they're going to have to pick up filming after things resume if they haven't already.
I mean, the thing with that is it could very much be a publicity thing, like, big headlines, Patterson gives up training and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, okay, but did he really? Or, is this just being hyped to get, Pattinson's name and, Batman's name kind of in the press again?
Yeah, it was a few months ago, but yeah, it could be that.
I mean, to be honest, we don't see a vast amount of Pattinson actually acting in this, so I don't know. I mean, I didn't see anything that was a red flag or anything. It seemed menacing enough, and he's like, "I am vengeance" and all this sort of stuff. So
yeah,
I mean, I've said this before when it comes to other. My first thought is are you fucking serious? The Twilight guy, what the fuck? But at the same time, it's well, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt with Affleck, and he was a good Batman when he actually gave a shit about the role where he got completely burnt out bullshit.
Yeah, which is understandable.
Heath Ledger was an absolute great pick for the Joker that nobody would have seen coming. So it's okay, by that rationale, I'm willing to give Pattinson a fair shot of this. Like I said, nothing in this trailer made me think he can't do it, but like I said, at the same time, there wasn't anything in this that kind of made me think, yep, perfect choice. It's in some ways we didn't really see enough, so I'm definitely looking forward to another trailer coming out close to the time, maybe see a bit more.
Yeah, and there's plenty of time for that as well, because it's, like I say, it's over a year away yet.
I mean, it was a long, was it 2-minute trailer, but it is still technically a teaser trailer, isn't it? It's not the full.
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, I've always thought of teasers as just being something that just has sort of atmosphere and a few sort of scenic shots of things, but this does seem to have a bit more than that. But I suppose it's the first trailer and it's a full year away. In the grand scheme of things, this might only be showing us the first half hour of the film. I doubt that, but you know what I mean. It could be the first sort of portion of the film. Unlike some of the DC trailers where they pretty much telegraphed every scene of that film had a snippet in the trailer.
Yeah, it was you didn't need to actually bother going to see Batman v Superman. As it turns out, you could just watch the trailer and you'd get beat for beat how that film was going to go.
Yeah. There's been some other DC stuff. I mean, I'm not following it. I'm interested in this one because it stands alone from what I understand. But maybe it's connected to the Joker movie. I don't know, but it certainly stands alone from the rest of the continuity that they did with Justice League. But there was also a trailer for Black Adam, and also I think it was something to do with the 4-part Justice League TV. Was it AT&T or whatever are doing it?
Yeah, the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So there's been some previews there, but I haven't followed them because, again, I've just kind of sacked all off. You stuck with it, though, didn't you, the DC movies? How far did you get with them?
Well, I've seen Aquaman, which it was all right.
Yeah.
It was kind of a typical superhero film, but that kind of worked in its favour. And considering I really don't like Aquaman, it kind of did its job. I quite enjoyed it. I saw Shazam, which it wasn't a bad film, but it was very kind of very little actually happens in it. It's kind of the worst sort of origin story. It's okay, can we actually get something seriously going on though? Because this is kind of feeling a bit dull.
Yeah.
Although it does have the kind of funny scene of, kind of the like classic superhero scene where like they're both facing each other, like flying in the air, and the villain's monologuing and stuff. But of course, like, in reality, like quite a distance away. So Shazam's going like, I can't hear you. Like, what are you saying? Like, I can see your lips are moving. What are you saying? And the villain's like, I will rend your bones and all this sort of stuff. He's like, what? But yeah, apart from that, not a great film.
I think Toph did that to Buff one time. He told him, and he hear him, and it ended really badly.
Yeah, Buff couldn't hear him because they were swinging his ears. It wasn't so much distance.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like, I mean, I've seen them. I've not specifically gone seeking these films out. It's more been a case of, I'm bored, they're on streaming. All right, I'll give it a try because I've heard reasonable things about it.
There was that the castration of masculinity? Sorry, the emancipation of Harley Quinn or something. Whatever it was.
I've not seen that one, so I can't say what that's like.
Yeah.
One thing I would say about the stupidly long title film of Harley Quinn is, at least watching this trailer, even though I did miss the Penguin kind of reference, I could tell pretty easily, like, all right, he's going up against the Riddler. Like, I wasn't 100% sure, like, is that Commissioner Gordon? It's like, I'm pretty sure that is Commissioner Gordon. At no point was I thinking, like, who the fuck's that spot? Is that, why the fuck, who? I mean, it wasn't until I saw the second one where it was like, yep, that's Huntress, that's Black Canary, that's like, otherwise I would have had no idea who these fucking characters were supposed to be. At least watching this, it's like, all right, yeah, I know who this is supposed to be, I know that's supposed to be. Like, you've done a good job, I can actually tell what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. Well, exactly, that's the thing. I think just the whole marketing campaign for that last film was a bit kind of messed up. Advertising for what it was. But obviously this film, as we were saying before, it's only in theatres as well. I thought everything was going streaming. But
yeah, I was very surprised when that massive only in theatres comes up.
That,
Yeah, weird that.
Exactly. So
it's almost like people who are saying it's going all streaming are talking out their arse.
Exactly. Or just trolling, maybe.
Yeah. Strange, that.
Essentially. But yeah, like I said, I kind of gave up with the DC movies after Wonder Woman. Although weirdly, Wonder Woman I thought was the best of the ones that I did watch, so it wasn't like that was the last straw. But I just lost interest with everything that came out after that. I did go see the Joker movie. You haven't seen that yet, have you?
No, mainly because I wasn't that interested in the premise to begin with. So, well, like I say, I'm not following everything that DC puts out. It's like, if it's in front of me and I'm interested, I might watch it. Otherwise, I don't care.
Well, if you want to borrow it, I do have the Ultra edition of the Joker movie. You can borrow it. It's called King of Comedy. It's the version that I saw in the cinemas, let's just put it that way. But yeah, like I said, not to knock on the Joker, it was still a good film, so I'd recommend watching it. And I don't know if it's going to tie in with this. They might somehow connect it to it. There's ways that could work. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, this is a bit more violent as well, this film as well. There's the bit in the trailer where he's beating that guy up, and like you say, when he says, I am vengeance. Jeremy Jahns did a video, it was really funny, where he was saying you expect him to say, I'm Batman, but he says, I am vengeance, and maybe the next line in the film is going to be like, I'm still working on the name.
Well, I think there is like things like, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am the Batman or something, so it could be like an ongoing thing.
Exactly,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Well, that was pretty much it in terms of that. But it's supposed to be year one, isn't it, for Batman on this as well? He's just started, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It kind of feels like we've already done that, so I don't know.
I will mention him in the last video I did as well. There's certain bits in this, like especially where he's using a grapple gun and he's going up like a staircase. It's very reminiscent to Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. I don't know if that was done intentionally or it was just kind of a nod or whatever. But yeah, we'll see. Certainly looks good anyway.
Let's say if I've got a problem with it, it's like I say, it kind of feels like we've already done this. It's kind of the problem I had with like
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man before they kind of rebooted it into the MCU. Which at that point, at least okay, well now I can see why you're bothering to reboot it. At this point, it's like, we really need another Batman. Like, I like my Batman, but at the same time, it's like there are so many other things you could be doing with like the DC property. Why is it every other thing's got to be a Batman thing?
Yeah, cash grab really in a lot of ways because they know that it sells.
Yeah. Which, I mean, in some ways it's fair enough, but in other ways it's like, again, seriously.
Yeah, I think they should just leave it a while until things change with like filmmaking to the point where you can do, like they gave it about 10 years between Joel Schumacher's Batman franchise to sort of mid 2000s, where movies were a little bit more gritty and serious in terms of, like the X-Men, you had Blade. The genre had kind of evolved to the point where Batman could come back and do like an entry. Not that they couldn't have made Batman Begins like in the 80s or 90s with that same style, but I think in general that was just a natural next step rather than just having it camp. So yeah, anyway, we'll have to cut it short. Any other thoughts before I do?
Well, I mean, this isn't directly related to this film, but apparently there has been confirmation backhandedly, though it's through a fairly mainstream source, that with the Flash film, they are definitely getting back.
Yeah, Michael
Ben
Keaton.
Affleck and
Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. We'll see about that because I like the Michael Keaton stuff, and if they're going to do some kind of dimensional crossover or something, that'd be interesting to see.
Like I say, the Flashpoint crisis is it's like a big thing, like Days of Future Past was for the X-Men and stuff like that. So,
with it, I wonder if it's going to be the Ezra Miller Flash, because there was some controversy with Ezra Miller, like assaulting a female fan or something. All the videos really sketchy because
As far as I know, yes, they've not announced recasting him or anything.
Yeah, because if it's going to be in canon with the crappy DC universe, it puts me off, but I wouldn't write it off completely because obviously Michael Keaton being in it. We'll see anyway. We'll see. So yeah, like I say, we better cut this short now. But any other thoughts?
No, nothing's pertaining to this particularly. So
cool. Well, one last thing I'm going to say: we're doing the Halloween franchise. No, we're not. We're going to do a Halloween series reviews. Again, nothing to do with Halloween movies, just scary movies, that kind of thing. We're going to talk about that for our Halloween special coming up at the end of October. I've done a little sort of teaser thing, that announcement, so I'm going to edit it in just after this video. So if you stay after the video, you'll see the announcement there. And there might be a couple of Topher references in as well.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to break this to you, John. We will be staying on YouTube with our review. We're not going streaming.
Well, yeah, all of that is streaming.
Well, yeah, no, but you know what I mean. Like, no, we're not going to Netflix. Calm down, John.
Oh yeah. It's staying on here. Right. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Let's just stop recording. So everybody, you can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. But signing off.
You bastard.
Hi guys, currently in production. We are proud to announce that this year we are going to be doing the 8th annual Halloween BXR special. It's been pretty much a tradition on the channel ever since we began back in 2013, that every October leading up to Halloween night itself we do a video or a series of videos, usually it is the latter, talking about our favourite scary movies and other moments in pop culture history. You can go back on the channel and check out our previous ones. I'm going to set up a playlist in the playlists section for our Halloween series. This year, obviously, we're going to be continuing that tradition. I'm going to get myself, my co-review of the core, involved in this. It's currently in production, as I say, and there may even be some Topher jokes thrown in too.